Hey, Clara Apollo, welcome to Voices of Elevate. And isn't this strange? Me podcasting you. Usually it's the other way around, isn't it?
Or we're sitting on the sofa together.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
we've
yeah,
done
yeah,
that.
yeah. No, you've done a great series. This is really good. And leading up to the festival and beyond, what a great community you're calling together. Thank you.
Oh, well, no, thank you, because you're the one who inspired me to do this, made me believe that it was possible, and showed me the ropes. And I'm just really grateful to you for supporting me to create this series. Yeah,
Um,
thank you.
you're really welcome. Watching you fly, sister.
So, yeah, we would like to know what you are bringing to Elevate this year.
I am bringing some Chakra Qi Gong to
Yeah,
elevate.
because Qigong is your forte, isn't it? You've been doing it for many years.
I have doing it, being it, sharing it, and playing with it and bringing it into ecstatic dance. How could you not have qigong and ecstatic dance? It's at this.
Mm.
It's like a cornerstone for me, and it's really lovely when I'm doing in the ecstatic dance. When we come to the slow or more melodic dancey bits, that's when the qigong comes in to sort of to gather the energy to maybe stand and be present and let the music just swirl and swoop over you while you've got that time to be with yourself and gather the energy in that you've created through the movement, gather it in for yourself as a resource that you can tap into later. I love that you can build energy that you can then use later. It's like, yay.
Mm. Like storing it like a bank.
Exactly. That's what your Dantian is. And that whole sacral Dantian area, I'm so interested in. So, as you know, like the chakras are a really, I see them as an energetic filing cabinet. You all know about your chakras, right?
Mm.
And we've always got stuff to learn about them and how they interact with each other and the new ones that are coming. And I stick with just the earth. The earth star up to the soul star. Okay, maybe stellar gateway as well, but when I'm doing the chakra qigong, we tend to focus on the foundational ones and bringing our physical body into alignment with our energy bodies and becoming more of a unified field to dance with and to dance through our lives with. So yeah, the sacred dantian is just it's a place to really get to know in yourself. That's in your belly area, your place of balance, and your place to move from. So we're going to be doing some sexy sacral dantian moves to
Oh,
get
are
us in.
we?
Well, you're already doing it. You can feel it, can't you? As soon as you mention that area, you want to do some circling
Mm.
or some rocking or something like that. So it's all natural movements, and I always encourage people just to do what feels right for them. And that can be quite an aha as well, like moving for movement's sake, with a little bit more mindfulness than I'm going to say just the ecstatic dance, but I don't mean that in a derogatory way at all, because you know how much I love my dance.
Mm.
But to be able to bring, yeah, a more connected in with your chakras and dantians and the dance and the movement and the stillness together is something that I'm playing with myself. So why not come and share it at Elevate?
Mm. Yeah, the perfect place for exploration and people that are up for it, to get involved. What
Exactly.
kind of led you into this work originally?
Work, play.
The working with energy, like where did that start for you?
Well, it's when I got the repetitive strain injuries on my arm for being both of them on my arms from when I was a costume designer back in London. I was doing that for 15 years, and I couldn't use my arms anymore. It's a longer story which I keep shorter. And going to the doctor, they're just suggesting physio, and but then I thought I'll go to the physio, see what they've got. And this physio did Western acupuncture, and it made such a difference. It made me then go and look at Eastern acupuncture and realize that Chinese medicine was very, very interesting. My first training was as a nurse, so I've always been interested in healthcare, not necessarily disease management, but although we do have to do that, but healthcare, preventative healthcare. And my shiatsu practitioner, who was a craniosacral chap as well, he talked to me about qigong, and I looked at him a bit blank and went, "Qi what? What are you talking about?" And he explained it to me and said he was actually teaching it, and that I could come down and have a play and see if I liked it. And you know, I love yoga. I do love most yoga. There's some yogas that my body just finds difficult, and I used to find I would look forward to the lying down at the end, you know, and all that twisting and stuff. My body needed some more fluid movement. Now I do a combo of yoga and qigong, but at the time I needed to free up. I had a lot of stagnation in my neck and in my lower back, and the qigong brought the movement in, this repetitive movement, but with really like expressive arms, which remind me of ballet dancing, but also planting yourself on the earth, really planting that really strong connection with the Great Mother as the support for everything that you do. And that was a real aha to realize that she's always been supporting me. And I thank her hugely. And I think that's one of my go-tos, is something that my mind can get involved with. Yeah, actually the earth has always supported me, and you, and you, and you. What would it be like for us to acknowledge that? How does that shift your feeling of being as you take that breath in and just drop into, oh yeah, I'm being supported. And as you know, when you feel supported, then you can flower, you can move more. I mean, as you know, there's lots of different layers and levels, but so I then found it was so useful for me. I did 4 years before I even went into the training, but I knew that it was something that's going to help a lot of other people. And it has. I suppose I must have shared it with thousands of people now. I lose count. It doesn't matter. It's 25 years. And but other threads have come in, like the color and the Reiki and the EFT and the nutrition. I was just following flows. And then more recently, the Akashic Record clearings. But I always feel like Qigong means energy work. So whatever you're doing around energy is your Qigong.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I first met you actually, and it was the first time I'd heard of Qigong, is when I was doing Rest Fest in 2012, and somebody said it was off mutual friend Lisa said, "Oh, my friend Clara, she does Qigong. Could she come?" And I was like, "Yeah, that sounds great. I don't know what it is, but tell her to come along, you know." And that was the first, and I didn't even get a chance to experience it because obviously when you're the organizer, you're busy behind the scenes. But that was the first time I was really introduced to it, and I know that, you know, lots of people did have a great experience and reported back to me. I think did I get involved in it somewhere along the line, because then I started to get into it.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
the seed, and because it's a reclamation of your relationship with yourself. It's like you come back home to a place you didn't, oh my goodness, I didn't realize I needed this, but this is so much who I am. It's like it's like a piece of the jigsaw puzzle slots in. And because it's a reclamation of movement for movement's sake, but also in a healing way. So the body knows, as you know, the body knows it needs to move in certain ways to express or to release or to be still, for no other reason. You don't, you know, we've used our bodies to do things and to put things there or to move things from there and there. But when you use it for, like, this is the harmony movement, you know, you want to balance heaven and earth and bring this into harmony, and you can do this.
I'm dancing as I do it.
Exactly. You know, it just engenders more playfulness within your body, which helps to release stagnation, and as we say, your disease comes from stagnation.
But also getting out of your head.
Yes, getting out of your own and giving your mind something to think about in the present moment that will engage it. That's
Yeah, because for me, you know, I like to have a form of meditation that involves movement.
Yeah.
Like, I know now that that's my thing. Sometimes I get a bit bored just sat meditating.
Yeah.
You know, I like to, but I do a qigong practice every day. And what I notice is it just brings you back to your essence, because we underestimate how much we pick up energy as we go about our day, around other people, around traffic, around the hustle and bustle, and how much that kind of creates this chaos within our nervous system, you know. And I notice, like, when I'm walking through the woods, if I'm not thinking about it and I've been out in the world and I walk through the woods, I kind of march like I'm on a mission to just walk the dogs. I'm not taking in the scenery. I'm not feeling part of the woodland. I'm just like marching, not even thinking. But when I stop and I do my Qigong practice, and then I glide like in the flow barefoot, and then I'm touching the trees and feeling at one with the world, you know, the nature around me. And I've had it before where I've just finished my Qigong practice and I've been stood there with my eyes shut, holding on to the energy in my lower dantian. And I've just opened my eyes and a deer has just walked like a meter away from me and just sort of looked at me and carried on walking. And that's because I'm not carrying the energy from the outside world, the hustle and bustle. I've showered and I've become one with the energy of the woodland. So now I'm not a fear or a threat to the deer. I'm part of its ecosystem, you know? And so it's just really seeing how much we are disconnected from nature and how that affects our nervous system, and having these kind of practices really help us kind of become part of what we are part of. And we you know, the world we've created for ourselves is so disconnected from nature, but when we're disconnected from nature, we're disconnected in ourselves. But when we connect to nature, we become connected in ourselves again.
That easy. And we hear it again and again: forest bathing, get back into nature. You know, we hear words in the head. It's like, actually do it and feel it. I'm doing it to such an extent now that I'm actually living in the bottom
You're
of
living in a
the
cabin in a amongst the trees, aren't you?
Exactly.
And but some people, I mean, you can still do qigong in your flat in the middle of
No, and
London.
I will say that though I do this now, that I call this through, but when I wasn't living here, I was living like around a lot of concrete. I would remember the times that I'd been to the beach. I'd remember the times that I was in the forest. That memory within you, maybe the smells or the sounds, that helps you wherever you are, you
Yeah.
know? So I think it's good to have the experience, but then to hold it as a positive
Because
memory.
that chi that you're working with is still connected to everything out there as well, isn't
Exactly,
it?
but
So
I
as long as,
think that the thing
yeah.
that you were also picking up on was the clearing. I think that there's so much that can come at us that can challenge us, or distortions, frequencies, energy fields. I know you're all into all of this, all of you that are listening. But how do we clear ourselves back in? Because it's a process. I mean, I can't just snap my fingers. I can come into my breath and go, whoa, my mind's on overload. That was a tricky whatever. And there would be like this deco, right, I either need to go and walk it or chi it, shaking it out, clearing it down. Clearing forms are the fundamental. I mean, dance is going to help you clear as well, because you're shaking your body up to clear any of the distortions off, and the earth will soak it up like compost, you know. And it's that, those clearings, those, but also the metaphysical Akashic record, multi-dimensional clearings as well. You know, it's not we are pretty complex, and yet we are so simple. Because when we can be in nature, we can be our own true nature. And then, as you were talking about the deer, you were in this kind of unity consciousness sweet spot of being, and that's where you meet other beings and animals that are similarly minded. And
Like I was in its dimension, you
well,
know.
you no, you were sharing the same space in an unthreatening way.
Yeah.
I had the situation with an owl here as well.
Oh
It was
yeah.
really magical, and it hasn't come back. Maybe it didn't like my drumming. But anyway, the drumming I was doing was calling this owl in, and like it was getting closer and closer, and I'm like, I was both like, oh, like there's an owl. What do I do? I don't know. I'm a bit out of touch with being in nature. Just keep drumming. Just keep drumming. But yeah, being, you know, there's a reverence there too. You know, we don't want to disturb, but it would be lovely to be part of nature more, and to soak up its wisdom.
Well, we were dancing on a hill fort last weekend, and all there was a herd of young cows came and joined us.
Great.
And then I was twirling the fire stick, and they were really mesmerized by it. That I was just stood there, you know, and they were so curious. And I just think when you do, you know, we're dancing barefoot, enjoying the sunset and really engulfed in nature. And then we attracted the cows in, and then a glowworm, and then an owl. So,
You
you
see?
know, and it's like I'm
Exactly.
always reminded of how disconnected we really are, because not just, you know, people are learning to love trees now, and forest bathing and hugging trees, you know, that's becoming a bit more socially acceptable to do these things
And
now.
it's being prescribed,
Yeah, but
you
we've
know?
still got such a disconnection from the wildlife. You know, people still have this block. Um, and I don't know if it's because some people need to hold that block to enable them to be able to eat animals. I don't know what it is, but it's when you do, you know, connect with nature in that way and then connect with the wildlife, it's beautiful. And you're kind of reminded of this existence that's being kept from us, you know, an existence that's almost like a utopia that we could be having on this planet.
It's not being kept from us. It's in a holding pattern. It's
Yes.
always there for us to return to.
Mm,
It's not hidden, it's in plain sight. It's up for us to choose it.
yeah.
How many of you choose to go into nature for holidays? You go to the beach, you go to the forest, you know, more of us than ever are choosing to find ways back into nature. Less and less are going on package holidays. Well, we're
Mm,
talking different frequency peoples here. I think
yeah.
one size does not fit all. But if you've got a lot of anxiety, you've got concerns, worries, your nervous system is jagged, and you don't know what to do. Your mind doesn't know what to do. It's like because your mind can't work this out, and it's like coming back into the body and and going, what does my body need? Does it need rest? You mentioned Rest Festival,
Mm,
and you know, I a lot of respect for you doing that. I remember interviewing you one of my early shows on Express FM. That
yeah,
is
yeah.
still exists somewhere.
Well,
But I thought, how good is that you're calling in rest, and so rest is a bit of a study for me as well, and what grows from rest. But you see, nature doesn't make a fuss about growing splendid, amazing things. She just grows really quietly
in the flow.
in the flow, and then rests at night. Or you know, then the opposite happens with the, you know, all the carbon dioxide and oxygen. But there's this getting into your flow of honoring rest, honoring the fact that if you let yourself rest, you're going to be much more able to then do what you're here to do if you keep
Mm,
battering yourself. And so I think this is a real conundrum for us, is to how do we reclaim the power of rest in our lives to be able to nurture ourselves and take care of our nervous systems, because
mm.
if we don't, that's what creates diseases. So yeah, rest is a big topic for me, and you ran a festival on it years
I
ago.
did, yeah, because, and the reason that I chose to do rest is because I had been a single mum at the time, and I was working the treadmill life, you know, working 9 to 5. My kids were at school, and I just, you know, didn't get a rest, you know, at all. And then I met my ex Luke, and I moved to his farm, and then we had another baby, and I was able to really experience something different, that for the first time, from being in that mainstream existence of 9 to 5 treadmill lifestyle, to then not needing to work because, you know, he had the luxury of owning his 10-acre farm and everything. Um, and just how different I felt, you know, from being in the masculine working 9 to 5 to then being in the feminine flow. And I just thought, wow, we really need to offer a piece of this to people, you know, to be able to come and just, and so that was the whole thing. You know, I advertised it as come and have a rest, like come and
Yeah,
have a break from the
exactly.
treadmill and experience all these things, all these tools that I'd learned, to like practices to help me survive in
Hmm.
that world. And that now with Elevate, it's more about it's beyond it's now about us elevating, you know, through food, and as the frequencies of the planet are changing and how we need to be lighter, we need to clear the energetic blocks, and we need to eat lighter food that's more electric, and all of those things to elevate. So now it's Elevate Festival. You know, I've gone from
What
rest to
so
elevate.
you, you if you don't want to say, you haven't gone from rest to elevate, you have evolved from rest
Yes.
into elevate. So rest gave you the foundation to be able to create elevate. And so the question is, what would rest allow you to do, those of you who are watching and listening? If you gave yourself a rest, what would that give you a foundation for? And this is, I think we're evolving now, into respecting our multidimensional systems. That, come on, we've got solar flares here, we've got cosmic energies coming, and we've got all the new moons, the full moons, the eclipses, the like crazy
not to
stuff
mention
here.
the foundation of everything we ever knew is now crumbling.
Exactly. If we don't rest during these phases, we're going to be no good, not only for ourselves, but for evolving the new earth. So it's like, what rest did next, in your case, created elevate. In my case, moved me to the countryside. So what could rest do for you? Yeah,
I love that.
And what I think we'll pick up on here also is, you had an elongated amount of rest. I have as well. I gave myself, I
had 10 years.
So how long does rest need to be? And if you're saying to me now, oh, I haven't got time for rest, watch those words, watch what you're telling yourself, because if you don't give yourself time to rest, nobody else is going to. You have to
I had worked all day today, and then met some family, and then walked around town, and then came home, and I knew that I was jumping on this call with you in an hour, so I laid on my bed for a bit.
And I think we need to start celebrating this, like Jenna laid on the bed mid-afternoon, cheeky little rest.
I just lie here for about 40 minutes, just have a little rest.
What happens in Spain or Italy or the sunny countries, and it's been very sunny here as well, they have siestas. It's normal. Everybody does it.
I had a 3-hour siesta yesterday.
And we're starting to honor that. And tell me your rest stories. Instead of telling me your long list of what you have, how you got so frazzled. And it's like, I don't want to hear anybody else's stories about how crazy it is, because I'm not going. How have you helped yourself to disengage from that and find new solutions? And yes, it means that you're going to miss out on some stuff. I'm not going to lie. That's the tricky one. You're going to have to say no to some things, but your soul will thank you, and your nervous system will be much happier.
I find maybe every 3 weeks I need a Netflix binge day.
All right, okay.
Where I don't answer my phone, I don't look at my phone, I just sit there and just get lost in some crap series.
Or maybe it's a good series even.
And it's just a way of me resting. I'll sit with a blanket, and I'll drink lots of juices or something and nourish, and I just rest, where I won't speak to anybody, and I won't have anything going on in my head, and I'll put something quite mind numbing on the TV.
Right, so you don't have to think too much.
Because I don't really watch any TV. I don't have a tuned in TV. I only have internet channels.
So there's so many of us doing this now. So many of us just don't bother anymore, and we're more particular about what we choose. I haven't got a DVD player. Has anybody got a spare portable DVD player? Little shout out for Clara and her cabin.
Use this space for that, Clara. You cheeky whatnot.
Because I've got a monitor and I'm borrowing DVDs, and then the frigging DVD player decided, it's like, no, you can't even watch that. It's like,
I'm not even sure where you would get one. I mean, the Facebook Marketplace or something like that.
Yeah, I have had a look, actually. I am just being cheeky. But you're saying, so what do I do then? I've started to pick up my guitar again and and do some drumming with the owls, Yeah. And there's no one around. And it's like, so what else could you do that's out of the old habits of what you'd usually do for rest? And maybe I could even give you that gauntlet as well. Cut the Netflix binges and go, I'm just going to lay here, and maybe I'll pick up an instrument, or maybe I'll do some writing.
What I was going to say is I don't watch Netflix all of those 3 weeks. I'm busy.
Yeah, sure.
I'll almost binge it for one whole day and probably get a whole 3 weeks worth in one day.
I used to do this when I had that. So here we go. Here's the edgy bit, because now I don't have that, and I'm like forced to go, what? And I'm questioning you. So you've been doing the Netflix. I'm slightly, slightly jealous of that, really. Wish I still had that. But it is showing us that there are other opportunities, and it's like, is it your writing that wants to come through? Is it, what else? Is it your crocheting? Is it your singing? Is it something? Is it something else? You know, back in the day, my mum and dad used to watch the telly at night. My brother and I go up to bed, and it was still light. It'd be like, great, my time, right? What's next for my creativity? What can I do without being interrupted? Oh, let's make my little dollies some costumes, more often than not, or doing the reading, or something where you get your own time to just doodle. What are those lovely Zen tangles people do? Those just sort of like meandering and colouring in, but you've created the, you know, all this stuff is so good for our nervous system and our psyches when we give ourselves our creative presence. And so it's looking at, sometimes you do need to binge. I'm not having a go. It's just like,
no, I hear you as well. There's
other options. Other
Well,
options.
sometimes people say to me, "Oh, Jenna, I don't know how you do so much." It's like, well, because I don't watch TV.
Yeah,
You know, the amount of time that frees up when you're not coming
exactly.
home, putting the telly on and watching it for the rest of the night,
I don't
frees up
think,
so many hours.
you know what, Jenna, I don't know many people that do that anymore. I
No,
don't know.
no, actually, a lot of people are growing out of it, aren't they?
Yeah, because it's just
The
fear
likes of
mongering.
Inspector Veg shouting, "Bust up your TV!"
Yeah, bust it up, mate. We don't need it, because if it's not making you feel good, why are you going to want to watch it?
Mm.
So my dad's got this thing about how you shouldn't believe anything you watch and only half of what you read, or something like that. And he's still avidly reading newspapers and quoting them and going, "But Dad, you said not to believe me."
Yeah.
Yeah. And we have to be super discerning, and there's a lot of scammy stuff going on out there, which brings us back into self-presence, self-nurture, recognizing the truth in nature and how you feel when you're in nature. And that becomes your compass within you, your heart frequency and your center line and your connection to heaven and earth and the truth that is your soul. And you don't need anybody else to tell you what's right or wrong now. And I think that is
Or
becoming
the
like a
fear, you know,
radical
I
act.
just had lunch with my mum today, and she was saying to my son and me about, oh, well, there's a big weather warning coming. And I said, oh, is there? Yeah, and it's a bit scary because of what happened in Texas. I said, what happened in Texas? Like, I don't know anything, you know? Like, she said, don't you watch the news? I said, no,
I
like, what
try not
happened in
to.
Texas?
Yeah.
So she's telling me, and I thought, yeah, I can see how you're probably quite scared if there was this big natural disaster in Texas and now they're giving us big weather warnings here. But I don't look at it, so therefore I'm not carrying any fear. And when the bad weather starts, I'll probably just enjoy it because I love bad weather, you know, and it'll be
Well,
like, oh,
it's not, but
storm's
when
coming.
what is bad, we need it. The land needs the rain. We
Yeah.
can weather storms. I mean, gratefully, my cabin's getting sorted out, so it can weather storms a bit more, because it was a bit of a drippage going on. But we're
Like the
sorting it. So
Titanic.
we we batten down the hatches. We experience a different version of weather. And oh, how lovely it is and glorious when we come out the other side and it's sunny. But all the blackberries are succulent because they've had enough water. All
Yeah.
the apples are getting more. You know, we're at the time of the year when we need the rain. So making it into a disaster before it's even happened.
But the fear that's being generated through watching the box
Yeah,
is
exactly.
unnecessary because,
It is. It's
if a natural disaster happens, well, we'll just deal with it when it happens,
yeah.
but worrying about it and
And I,
carrying that fear, that energy is going to weigh us down, isn't it? It's the type of energy we're talking about clearing. If you're
exactly.
constantly subjecting yourself to world news and what's going on in a different country, and you're carrying that fear and that worry.
So there is a piece about being prepared
Yes.
without being fearful. So it's
Mm,
like, okay, there is a bit of a storm front coming on. What do I need to do?
yeah.
Okay, that's all. That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
Get your wellies out
I've
and
got a few things I need to clear from the garden because a couple of days ago we
exactly,
had something and things have ended up all over the
exactly.
place. So,
So it's being practical. I do go into the news, but I go in mindfully just to have a quick scan, and then I get out again quickly because I can recognize how it brings you into fear. I'm not interested in that. We are creating. We say we are creating new earth. We are creating the experience that we want right now. So
do
the
you
experience
feel
that we
that like people like you and I that do have a qigong practice where we can find that center within ourselves? that when we do expose ourselves to things like that, we'll instantly feel, oh, my energy doesn't
Me.
like that. Oh,
Exactly, moving
whereas
away.
when you're always in those things and you're never taking yourself back to that center in yourself, you don't recognize all the different chaotic things that are affecting your system. You just feel out of sorts, don't you?
Because you don't know who you are without all of those. So this is one of, I'm going to do it. We will start the session at Elevate with this, a really beautiful, simple practice that you'll think is that Qigong. Yeah, it is. And this is bringing you back very easily and deftly and graciously to that presence of being with curiosity, and starting to inhabit that, and get interested by it, and not be threatened by it. Actually come into this is what nature's doing. This is me coming back to my nature. And it might be a bit gnarly sometimes. You kind of come up in front of yourself, but if you just pour love and compassion and remind you that you're doing the best you can with what you've got, and that kindness and compassion acts like a balm on whatever head funk is trying to upset you, and go, yeah, mind, I know you're going to do that, but I'd rather you kind of come on board, mind, come on board and be part of my heart frequency, and we can explore this together, so yeah, rather than being led by the mind, let the mind be part of your team and not be the override. The mind needs to have instruction, not be the instructor.
I like that. Yes.
So
Oh,
we're
so
going to be
what
doing
other
it.
things have you got going on at the moment?
Well, I've got the Akashic Record clearing and visioning in on the new moons. We have one on the Leo new moon, which I will be doing on the 22nd. So then you'll have it for the 23rd and 24th. It's actually landing on my birthday this year, like super close. I'm like, what's going to happen? I think I'm just going to make sure I am in nature for that, just to sort of
Yeah.
ground and be with that. And this is following around the chakras. So this will be connecting with the sacral dantian, as we seem to be doing. And one of the things that I did want to speak
So
to you
you're
about
weaving
was,
all your offerings
yeah,
in
I'm weaving
this,
it all
aren't
in, but
you?
what's happening is serendipitous synchronicities and coincidences. I didn't mean to do any of this, and when we hung out the other week just by accident, and that's one the other thing that I'd like to say to people: the more that you're in your self presence and part of nature as your nature, the more you're aligned to that, the more these synchronicities and
Oh, yeah.
serendipitous, they just occur like it's part of life now, and not like big some, oh, wow, it is a bit of an oh wow, don't get me wrong, but it's like, what does this mean? The mind's going, what does it mean? It means you're on your path, you're in
Yeah.
alignment with your truth.
Yeah.
Ta-da! And it happens simply, it happens amazingly, and it happens to so many of us now.
And it just makes life easier because you're not having to like fight for anything and plan it. It just flows in such a nice way, and you really feel in alignment when these synchronicities come into play, don't you? And
We
when we
do.
had that the other day, it was crazy, and we were just like, of course.
There was room for a bit of synchronicity for these sisters. Here we go, and it also, it's reassuring, I think, for us as well, because it is, we're in new territory. We are creating the new earth day by day, moment by moment, breath by breath, and it is nice to be around the like-minded people that are doing, but also to get the feedback from nature, going, yeah, here is what you need now. Or, it's like imagining your parking slot. We all do this now and it works. It's like, what else could you imagine? Yay, bring that in.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love that you've got all these offerings because you've always really supported other people with their offerings, that like Seeker, you organize his tour, and you've been doing other things with other people, and you're always behind the scenes, like really really helping other people boost them and their popularity. And I'm always like, but Clara, but what about you? Because you are so full of wisdom. You've been on this in this world for such a long time, that I really want to boost you,
Thank
and
you.
yeah, I just feel like now is the time
Thank
for
you.
you to
Thank you.
shine.
Poet, yeah,
Because even with
well,
your podcast, even that, you were always really helping other people, and but you've got so much there, and you can really be one of these way showers of the new earth, because you've got all the tools, you know. So
Yeah, but you say that, but I've also been doing it alone. There's been a lot of loneliness going on these past few years, and my friends like yourself, we've been really supportive of each other on our voice notes, and you
yeah.
know who you are, and I'm super grateful. But now it's calling community and having the support for me. And as I was saying to Spirit, like, if you want me to do this work, send me the support that I need, because
Yeah.
I'm not doing this on my own, and I'm
Yeah.
not. I don't think we.
Well, you're not, because I feel like that's what Elevate is all about, because
Mm,
I've been calling for the same, and actually
mm,
we're all here. You know,
exactly.
all of those people, that the community, are all within this podcast, you know,
Yes,
and they're all
exactly.
going to be connecting with each other and
Oh, it's so
holding that
brilliant. So
space.
like last year as well, you just make connections with people just in the field. There's a space for the serendipitous coincidences to occur because it's like-minded people, and the conversations are just off the charts because you don't have to keep explaining yourself. You're there.
Yeah,
You're already in it. It's like, what have you got there, Sharon? What have you got, Sharon?
yeah,
And I love it. It really does elevate your system because you're around like-hearted people. So why wouldn't you? It's just automatic, which is why it's genius that you're calling us all together. I can't wait. It's
oh,
gonna be
I'm
so
just
fun.
doing what I'm told.
Well, same. We're just following the breadcrumbs.
Just follow, just allowing it to come through,
Yeah.
allowing what wants to happen.
But that does take courage, and that's the energy of the heart again. So all the time we're nurturing our heart energy and ensuring that our heart feels safe on the earth. And that's what these chakra clearings and visionings are. Every chakra is relating to the heart. How does the root chakra affect the heart? How does the throat chakra affect the heart? And so we strengthen our heart frequency. And
Yeah.
that, as we know, is a really massive vibe to walk peace, love, prosperity into the world.
Wonderful. What a great way to close up this conversation. Where can people find you?
Oh, on the socials is Clara Joe Apollo, or claraapollo.com is my website. And Chi Time TV is my podcast on YouTube and on Spotify and all other platforms. And you will see Jenna on there because we like to
Yeah,
do an
amongst so many wonderful people to even you did a chat with Joe Dispenza as well, didn't you?
Oh,
And
I did.
you've got all kinds of people on there. It's such a good podcast. So
Thank you.
yeah, I've listened to the whole thing.
Well, all 200, surely not.
Oh, a lot, I
A
think. I
lot,
put it on
the
when
ones that you're
I
interested.
went for a stage of just putting it on when I went to bed, because there's so many interesting conversations. And what's really lovely is, now that I'm doing this one, I've had messages from friends who are saying, "Oh, I've listened to them all. They're really keeping me company." And you're like, "Oh, it's such a nice gift to share, isn't it? These
It really
conversations,
is. Yeah,
you
thank
know."
you for reminding me of this because I haven't done many of my own for the last 6 months. I needed to take a break, but something's bubbling. I can feel
Yeah,
a new
it's
series
ready.
coming through really soon. So thank you for reminding me of that.
Oh no, thank you again for being such an inspiration.
Oh, bless you.
Oh, lots
You
of love,
too.
Clara. Can't
Much
wait
love
to
to you
see
too. Keep a
you.
chi up. Bye.